everyone, it's Heidi, Fang, and Adam Hill for CoveringTheCage.com, joined with UFC President Dana White. We've just finished up the UFC 235 press conference here, happening March 2nd, T-Mobile Arena. Very exciting card. You got John Jones back. First of all, what is that like to have that situation finally resolved and to get this main event together with Smith?
Yeah, it's good. The word that I was hearing from USADA, I was very confident that this would get done and that, all the experts knew that he did not cheat. So I was very confident it's going to happen.
To have him as a kind of an established star that now can be a little bit more consistent, how happy does that make the organization?
I'm happy that I feel like he's got his personal life in order. I feel like he's got his stuff together. I think he's taken this more serious. And I've seen this with a lot of guys as they start to get older and, he isn't 24 anymore, he isn't 26 anymore. And they see that, a career in sports doesn't last that long. They start to get their stuff together. And I'm really happy that he's doing it.
It's pretty good to have both events coming together. With Tyron, the situation is interesting because there was the Colby Covington factor. What went into the decision to have Usman there as opposed to Covington?
Well, we offered a fight to Covington, and Covington didn't take the fight. And I say it all the time. I don't know how. 20 years I've been saying this. I don't know how many more times I got to say it. This is a sport of opportunity. When opportunity is there, answer the door. Take it. And if you don't, it's going to take you longer to get back to that belt. I like the fight that Usman had. Usman was ready to fight anybody, and he's getting the shot. Colby now is going to have to fight again and earn the spot to get back.
We saw Ben Askren up there today. I think this is a moment I've been wanting to see for a long time. I know I've been very much in support of Ben Askren as a fighter, and there's been issues between you guys in the past. But to have him up there, did you think this day would come? And what was it like to kind of have him up there and be in your organization?
Yeah, and it's not that he and I have ever had issues. That whole thing is so blown out of proportion. When people think that I have issues, he thought I had issues with him. Listen, if I said some negative things about him, I've said negative things about Anderson Silva and George St. Pierre and a lot of the other greats. Not everything is always perfect, but he's been under contract with other companies, and at the time that he was available, I wasn't interested. He went on this unbelievable unbeaten streak, and it's time. It's time for Ben Askren to be here. And yeah, I'm cool with it. I've never really had a problem with Ben Askren.
This week we had the Nevada Commission hearing. We talked about John and his situation. He got through it. We also had the settlements for Conor and Khabib. I know you dressed a little bit up on stage, but what was your thoughts on their discipline and just going forward, kind of working with them and working with the commission with them to come back?
I think they financially went a little hard on Khabib. The guy finally exploded after he won the fight. And we contained it. We did a good. We expected a little bit of fireworks, a little bit of turbulence, whatever you want to call it. We expected it. We were ready for it. Even the athletic commission, that guy was a half a second away from grabbing Khabib's legs, and he doesn't make it over the fence. But once he got over, we contained it, and we took care of it. This is the fight game. This is the fight game. Things happen. There wasn't a huge riot like at the Tyson fight and things like that. Nothing got out of control. I think that my staff and the athletic commission and everybody handled that situation perfectly, and we squashed it. But things like that heat up and happen. This is the fight game, and if we're gonna start being overly sensitive about fighting, this is what we do.
Along those lines, you addressed it. The commission, I think it was just a spur-of-the-moment impulsive thing, but they said they want to start talking about language. They want to start talking about if you say things against religion or family or things like that. I don't know how you police that. I understand the thought,
right,
but I don't know how you police that. But what were your thoughts?
It's a very scary, slippery slope when you start talking about, fining or suspending people for speech. Unconstitutional. I don't even think it's legal. Yeah. Wow.
I mean, I raised that question. I said, I don't know how this survives a First Amendment lawsuit if you try to do that. Would that make you think about where you put some fights and not having certain guys maybe even fight in Nevada?
I'm shocked that that was even said. I wasn't there. I didn't hear it. I don't know what happened, but it's shocking. But we do everything in our power to work with the athletic commission. I mean, Nevada has been great to us. Nevada's been very good to us. So I highly doubt that's going to happen. And I hope you're absolutely right that it was a spur of the moment thing. And, I don't know. That's it's crazy talk to me. I mean, imagine if in any sport somebody started saying we're going to start fining people for what they say and things like that.
Really great card, top to bottom, as you said. Jones against Smith. I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, John Jones crushes Anthony Smith." You never know in the fight game, though. That's a good fight. And then we saw Usman and Woodley today. I don't know if anybody's not interested in that fight after watching that.
Great fight. That's why I made that fight. I think Usman looked awesome in his last fight. Woodley obviously looked awesome in his last fight. So that was the fight to make. And as far as John Jones being a huge favorite, blowing through this guy, this is ridiculous. What does this remind you of? We were in Toronto, Alexander Gustafsson. This is exactly the same stuff that everybody said about the first Gustafsson fight. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about because you never know what's going to happen in this sport. You never know with these fights. Anything is possible.
We'll